And what's to be done about Thames Water?
Well, I mean, it's a disgrace, isn't it, that there are 15 million people who are Thames Water customers. That's nearly a quarter of the UK population who are waking up today not knowing if they actually have a viable water company providing the most essential of essentials, that is clean water, through their taps. We also know that people up and down the country think it's a disgrace that we have sewage on our beaches and our rivers aren't safe to swim in an island nation. And meanwhile, the bosses of water companies have been pocketing large bonuses. Now, you asked what should be done. I think that the government at the moment is just failing to take responsibility for this crisis. Where have they been for the last weeks and months? Why is it only now that they're trying to sort something out? That's the first thing. The second thing that needs to happen is they need to make sure that the regulator is using their powers and, if necessary, instructed to have new powers. So if they could right now be reminding the regulator that they already have the power to cap customers' bills, that would be something that would really help people struggling with the cost of living crisis right now. They should also be instructing the regulator, and if necessary giving them the powers to do this, that pay for water company bosses should be linked to performance. It cannot be right that while there is human waste on a beach and our rivers aren't safe to swim in, and most of all, people can't depend on clean water coming out their taps come the weekend, that water companies continue to pay massive bonuses to their bosses. We've got to get that balance sorted out. Unfortunately, for too many years under successive Tory governments, we have allowed a system to proliferate where the risk has been nationalised onto working people and the profit has been privatised to shareholders and bosses. It's just not good enough, and I'm not having it. It's time the government took action.
OK, well, it is a developing story. I'm sure we will come back to this story over the next few days. But in the meantime, I know you want to talk about renting in particular, and I wonder if you could clear some things up for me. You're calling for urgent protections for renters, including no-fault eviction bans. And yet yesterday there was a U-turn from Lisa Nandy saying that rent controls could actually lead to homelessness. So I don't really understand, what exactly Labour's position is when it comes to renting.
Right, that wasn't a U-turn. I'm just going to correct you there. It's not been our policy that we should have rent controls. There are various reasons for that, but the most important thing at the moment is the outcome for renters right now. Bringing in a ban on no-fault evictions would help renters right now. Bringing in a code of practice for letting agencies so that they stop these really unfair practices of, for instance, charging potential renters hundreds of pounds before they can even get to view a property. We would instruct that code of practice right now. That would help protect renters now. And we would also extend the notice period for evictions from 2 months to 4 months, just to give some extra breathing space. But more than that, what we would actually do is tackle the problem at root causes, which is the lack of supply. Under the current government, there were only 8,000 council and housing association houses built last year, when in Bristol alone there is a waiting list of 19,000. So we badly need more homes built. We need those homes to be built in the right places, and we need them to be affordable but also fit for the future, which means climate change resilient, well insulated, which would also help bring people's bills down, and where people need them. And at the moment, that's not what we've got from the current government, but that is what a Labour government would be doing.